I.S.U.P.K.
Book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
See, in this Bible it's in black, but that's Yahushua Mashiach, who you foolishly call Jesus Christ. He said to do what?
Think not.
Don't even think that I've come to do what?
To destroy the law.
To do away with the laws, man. That's what Jesus said. Get that out of your head, man.
What?
The laws are not done away with. We heard it here first in Matthew, the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. Christ said what?
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
That wasn't Christ's purpose, man. The Lord didn't authorize Christ to come and do away with the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That wasn't what Christ did when he died on the cross, man. That wasn't it. Keep reading.
Or the prophets.
Christ didn't come to do away with the law, nor the prophets. You know, Christ didn't come to do away with what Isaiah set up, man. He didn't come to do away with what Jonah laid down, man, or what Noah prophesied about, man. Christ didn't come to do anything against what the prophets established before him, man. Keep reading.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Christ didn't come to destroy the law, man. He came to fulfill it.
Right.
He came to fulfillment is just execution, man. You need to remove the deity that you've placed on Christ as being God. That's a lie that's taught in the Christian church, man. Christ, he differentiated himself from being the most high power, man. Christ was a man born of flesh and blood, man. He had an earthly father. His name was Joseph, man. You need to understand the context of what virgin means, man. It just means a young woman of marrying age.
Right.
Don't necessarily mean in the Hebrew tradition that she never laid with a man. Because her and Joseph got together and they got it on. And that's why we have Yahushua Mashiach, and we're reading about him right now. Keep reading.
Verse 18. For verily I say unto you,
Truly,
till heaven and earth pass.
till heaven and earth pass. We're standing on the earth right now. I can look up and see the sky. I'm wet right now because of rain falling from the clouds that are in the heavens, man. Keep reading.
One jot or one tittle
The dotting of the I or the crossing of the T.
shall in no wise pass from the law.
Nothing, absolutely nothing will be removed from the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Power, man. Until all be fulfilled. And it ain't the end. It's not the end of the world. I'm looking at people walk up and down the street right now, breathing air. Keep reading.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore
what?
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
That whosoever is of Israel, man. You know, because the law was only given to the Israelites that walked out of Egypt, man. That's who the law was given to. So there's an expectation if you so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian with regard to your conduct. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Who gives a damn what the heathens are doing, man? Let them be gay, let them do drugs, let them, be lascivious in nature. They can do that. That's them. They don't have a God that loves them, that cares about them. They don't have a God that gave them laws to live by. This is a lawless nation. This is an absolute lawless nation, man. The laws of America, that's a joke. Keep reading.
And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Whosoever that's teaching men that the laws are done away with are the Christian pastors, man.
That's right.
They're gonna be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, man. Keep reading.
But whosoever shall do and teach them.
We keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. We keep the law. The same way that the prophets did, the prophets of old, that's who we are today, in 2021, man. In the spirit of all the prophets, man. In the spirit of Christ, that's why we out here. We're teaching you to keep the laws. It can be done. It's not an impossible feat. We just came out of the Day of Atonement. How many of you afflicted your soul, man, by fasting all day? No water, no food. Who did that? What church did that? That's what I thought. Crickets. But in this school, we keep the laws, man. We teach you to keep the laws. Keep reading.
The same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
We're gonna be called what?
Great in the kingdom of heaven.
And if it's the Lord's will, we're gonna make it there to the kingdom of heaven, man. And we will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. This greatness takes a sacrifice, man. That's what we're doing out here, sacrificing our Sabbath, man. To come out here to teach you what the pastors aren't teaching you. We teach you what to eat. We teach you we teach conflict resolution. Teach you how to love your brother or your sister, man. We teach you not to worship idols. We don't celebrate none of the oppressors' high holy days, man. We keep the high holy days and the feast days of the Bible.
Right.
That's where we defer. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us separate. If you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, we're talking to you. If you black, no, you ain't no African, man. I ain't talking about no Africans or the East Indians or the Chinese man or the Japanese man. I'm talking about so-called Negroes, wetbacks in America, the Native Indian. That's who I'm speaking to right now. Keep reading, brother.
Verse 20, for verily I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees.
Salakia, drop that, brother. Drop that. We're gonna go into page 407 of the Zondervan. You got a Zondervan? Yeah, let me get that. It should be a bookmark there, brother. We're talking about obedience, man. Obedience is that's it right there. Oh, shut the water. Hold that there. Obedience is your only option. Your only option if you are so-called black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. You do not. We don't have the free will that we see the other nations enjoy, man. The other nations do not have a loving father that cares about them, okay? They don't have a loving father that gave them laws, statutes, and commandments that they were ordered to keep. They were ordered to subject themselves to these things, man. And we're gonna talk about it, man. Where you at? What does it mean to be obedient, man? What does it mean to be obedient? It means that you are submissive to the command or the restraint of authority, man. And who is our authority? We follow Commander General Yohanna, man. He has operational direction that we follow. We follow Commander General Yohanna because he follows Christ, man. And Christ follows the most high power.
Right.
You gotta understand that our nation has always had a leader, man. We've always had righteous leadership, man. But what's going on in 2021? The brother just brought it out earlier. We have weak leadership, man. Our gates languish. We don't have any protection, okay? You thinking about the rappers and the entertainers and the athletes? That's not our protection, man. Salakia, read that for me, brother. The definition of obedience according to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Page 407 of the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Obedience. Man normally comes under 5 principal authorities, which require obedience first.
Right, so the context of obedience, there's 5 different contexts by which we are to be under obedience, okay? Read.
First, as a child and his parents.
First, as a child, man. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should grow, but when he is old, he shall not depart from it, man. We teach our children the law, statutes, and commandments. My kids know that they cannot eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, man.
Right.
They know that. They know that they don't believe in the Easter Bunny. They don't believe in Saint Nick, man. They don't look forward to Christmas. They don't look forward to Thanksgiving, man. We don't keep none of those things. In this school, we train up our children, man. Our children speak the Lashawan Quadash, the holy tongue, man. Continue.
Then, in the school, his teachers.
His teachers, right? The second context. So, you know, education begins in the home. You see this right here in the Zondervan. If you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you cannot rely upon the school systems to raise your children, man. You cannot, because that's where I learned about all the so-called oppressive holidays, man. They're teaching, the brother just talked about it earlier. They got books in the curriculum now, the gay BCs, man, or My Shadow is Pink. These are real books that they are pushing on our children, man, to promote the lascivious lifestyle of homosexuality, man, and lesbianism, okay? And these things are destructive. Those things are anti-humanity. Can you imagine if everybody decided they wanted to be a homosexual or a lesbian? Humanity would cease to exist, man. Keep reading, brother.
Then, in industry or business.
In industry or business. So we talked about your parents with regard to the context of obedience. Then we talked about what? Your teachers, right? That's your secondary instructor, right? The tertiary level is your boss on your job, man. Your boss on your job has more sway over the Most High. You do whatever for the almighty dollar, man. We do whatever for the almighty dollar. I'm not gonna separate myself from our poverty here in this place. I'm joining you. That's why I'm out here imploring that you separate yourselves from America, that we separate ourselves from America, man. I'm tired of seeing our people suffering on the bottom, man. That's not where we're supposed to be. That's not our true position on the earth. We're supposed to be on top.
Right.
Keep reading.
Fourthly, the government.
Who?
The government.
What about the government?
And lastly,
Salakia. So, you know, we are subjected to the authority of government with regard to being obedient, okay? We got the laws of the land that we have to abide by. You can't speed in the city. Most city has a posted speed limit. It's usually 35. Go 65 in the city and see what happens, man. If you don't kill somebody, you will get locked up, okay? We got laws according to the government that they want to keep. Shout out to Texas, man. Shout out to Texas for banning abortion. You know, we'll see how long that lasts, because this is a very wicked and evil, vile place, man. Keep reading.
and lastly, the principality. God.
God, right? Lastly, sadly enough, they put the Most High last with regard to the context of your obedience, man. And that should be first. That should be your primary objective. Every day when you get up, man, is to serve the Lord. And everything that you do, that should be on the forefront of your thoughts.
Right.
Is this thing gonna bring honor and glory to my power? We got it backwards and upside down in this place, man. Go to Colossians 3:20, man. Most High Christ, the water for that. We out here talking about obedience and how it's imperative that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are obedient to keeping the laws of God, man. Nowhere on the earth is this being taught outside of the ISUPK.